PlayerLayer Story began in 2008. Anthony had seen base layer coming into the market, and that really was our heritage, our first product. Because of our contacts in cricket, one of our first ever customers was Nottinghamshire County Cricket Club. And at the time, back in 2008, what you found is teams and clubs were wearing base layer, but it was all different colours and different brands. And our story, our USP, if you like, was to create a customised base layer for that team or for that club. So one of our first customers was Nottinghamshire. We then got Middlesex and Leicestershire County Cricket Clubs. And in the same season, Puma were providing or sponsoring 3 Premier League football teams. Now, they couldn't provide the base layer quality that we could. We weren't a threat to a £3 billion company at the time. So they, for a season at least, allowed us to supply the base layer. And really that gave us one thing. It gave us credibility. We could legitimately say that we were supplying some of the world's best footballers and the world's best cricketers. Naturally, off the back of that, we fell into the independent school market and university market. So customers such as Oxford, Cambridge, Durham in the university sector, schools such as Tonbridge, Shrewsbury, Benenden out there started to wear our product. All the time as we started to supply these education institutions, we kept getting asked, do you do tracksuits, do you do rugby kits, do you do netball kits? And after about 12 months, myself, Anthony and Rod, I'll never forget the day, we all went down to Anthony's uncle for advice. Now, his uncle happened to be the ex-European Vice President of Levi Strauss, the number 2 at Levi's. He's also CEO of Canterbury, New Zealand for 6 years as well. So it was a bit of a Dragon's Den moment, but we sat down, we got advice, and after about 24 hours, Joe rang us back up and said, would you be interested in me investing? Clearly for us three as younger entrepreneurs at the time, we said yes, absolutely. So Joe came on board and really from that day revolutionised the business. I'll always remember the brand meeting we had at the old office we called the Bunker. And really it was that day that PlayerLayer truly was born in the vision that you see it today. We sat down then and decided that we wanted to become the premium British sports brand. Germany have Adidas, America have Nike. Who do we have here in the UK that's operating on a multi-sport basis at that premium level? That is our vision, that is our mission, and that is where we are going. And it started on that day, probably back in around 2009. So going from one product in base layer, now 6 years later we have 900 products in the range catering for 75 sports. Here in 2000 and early 2017 we're 5 million in sales in the UK. We've launched into China, we've launched into Australia, we were in Benelux, we're just about to launch into Germany and Spain. And that fast-paced growth has really been based on 3 things. And a lot of it came from that influence of Joe joining the business back in 2009. 3 things. Firstly, obviously investment. Secondly was contacts, so that the mills that we could supply from were the mills, the fabric mills that are supplying some of the global brands. But the most important thing that Joe brought to the business was systemic, organised process thinking. So something that might have taken 10, 12 years for us to put in place, we were able to put in place in 2 or 3 years without rushing it. We are not the finished article by any means, but we are on a mission to change this industry and to become that British premium sports brand. So here in 2017, in the university sector, we supply 9 out of the top 12 universities. Universities such as St Andrews, Edinburgh, Durham, Nottingham, Exeter, Bristol, Surrey, and we've just added Birmingham to that list. Independent schools such as Tonbridge, Whitgift, Shrewsbury, Benenden, Repton School. So we operate in the high-end educational market. We supply a number of professional teams and clubs based in this country and in the other countries we mentioned before. But the vision, the passion and the mission that we're on is to become a British premium sports brand.